Well, let me tell you something, brother.
We're a bunch of marks.
Woo! Oh, yeah! And get some man!
Welcome to Marks and Smarks. My name is Jose Sands. I'm here with
Marcus
and
Big Ralph.
We're here to talk about this week in wrestling, what could have been, what should have been, and what was. Now, if anybody's wondering why we had no episode last week, well, I hit a little snag. See, I had to pause the episode for one. My little man had to go to sleep. So we had to get him in bed before we kept going. But instead of pausing, I stopped the episode. Went back, realized what I did, started a new one, started up again. I saved the last one. When we were done, I saved over the last one. So only half an episode happened. So instead of posting it, we decided we'll do a new one this week. And we'll add, as a bonus, with the actual main event match from last week onto this one. I know it sounds confusing, so at the end, or towards the end of this episode, you're going to hear our comments from Ronda Rousey onto NXT, plus the NXT matches and the main event match of the week. So that'll be our main event match, which was Moustache Mountain versus the Undisputed Era at NXT Brooklyn 4 for the title.
the tag team titles
Of the world.
of the world, because I consider NXT titles to be world titles.
You are the only one. Have they defended the NXT World Tag or the Tag Team titles?
They have in the UK. Remember?
And the definition
Never mind.
of a world title is to be defended outside of the country of its origin. So
It sounds more like they're the Intercontinental Champions, the Tag Team Intercontinental Champions.
but according to
Just
you, that's the
Because
world
they're
title.
two. It is.
And you know what? Your logic makes sense. It's not supposed to make sense, but it does make sense.
It's Big Ralph logic. It always makes sense because it's big logic.
WWE
Jesus,
could
big
benefit
logic.
from this.
Yes.
So the one thing you're probably not going to hear on this episode or the last episode, or maybe it's there, I have to re-listen to it, but we made a bet. You see, the PWI 500, yearly 500 was out this past week. We all decided we would do a 10-point, bet, I guess. Add 10 points to our current pay-per-view
Let's say a wager sounds better.
bet
You know,
wager.
To be honest, I was talking shit, and I put it all on the line because I pretty much was going to lose. I'm losing anyway, so I'm like, you know what? If somebody gets 10 points, I'm not really losing anything. So here we go. And
So the question was, who's going to be on the cover? Or no. Well, I guess it would be on the cover, but the number one wrestler on the PWI 500. Because Hollywood's talking crap,
yep,
he decided he was going to say Kenny Omega. So I picked AJ Styles. Ralph, you picked who? I forgot.
I picked Rollins.
You picked Rollins, which was a good pick, and I think Andre picked AJ Styles with me because we thought, how can Kenny Omega win since he only had the title for a short time? So let's say the results came out, and unfortunately for me,
Unfortunately for everybody.
Kenny Omega was the number one wrestler for 2018, according to PWI.
Yep.
If you don't know what PWI is, it's Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
should we run down the top 10?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so at number 1 was Kenny. Number 2 was AJ Styles. Number 3 was Okada. Number 4, I have to look up and see. Let me go back into our chat history. I should have been more ready for this.
Wow. I wasn't going to say the top 10. You were the one, so I was like, well, if you have it prepared, go for it.
Ready? It's number one is Kenny. Number 2 is AJ. Number 3 is Okada. Number 4 is Lesnar, which surprised me because it's supposed to be for active wrestlers. They don't count part-time wrestlers in the PWI 500. So for him to come in number 4, I guess because, yes, he's at a title, or he had a title.
Yeah, but it feels like a slap to the face.
It does. It doesn't. I didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Number 5 was Seth Rollins. Yeah. Number 6 was Braun Strowman. Number 7 was Roman Reigns. Number 8 was Cody. Number 10 was Naito. Number 9 was Naito. Number 10 was The Miz.
All right.
I would rearrange those names a little bit, but the top 3 I would agree with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I guess, like you said, Lesnar being on there is kind of a But he is the champion, and that is the most recognized championship. Well, no, the WWE Championship would be the most recognized, but that company is the most recognized.
The WWE Championship should be the most recognized, but of course, it's never the main event, never storyline, so...
The problem with that is since they have it on Smackdown, and they still consider Smackdown the B show, they have themselves downgraded the title just to promote their Universal title.
It's crappy. You can say it. It's true.
Yeah, it is. It's just, I don't know.
I think
they should do something better because they have a great champion in AJ, and they should just be promoting him and his title. And
I think once they go to Fox, they will, though.
Hopefully.
Because that's big time right there.
What do you think, Mr. Sands?
You think Mr. Sands what?
What do you think about the title?
What do you think? Oh, I thought you said, do you think? I'm like, yeah, I think, you pain in the ass.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if we were to ask the wife, I think she would say you don't think.
Well, my wife says a lot of things I don't do very correct.
I don't want to know.
Use your imagination.
I don't want to use my imagination. I'm good.
I'm not walking into that one.
To me, the WWE Champion is always the one that's the more prestigious. It's the same thing with the Intercontinental. Those two, I think, are their top titles. So everything else is underneath those. Unfortunately, with the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles and the women's titles kind of going towards the individual brands, it's hard to say which one is the better of those. But if we go by, I guess, the last person before it switched, so it would have been the Raw would have been the last women's title, and the Raw tag would be the last WWE title. So I guess those would be the best in a sense on those. So I guess the B show, as they say, is technically the B show, except it's got the A world title.
Do you think they have too many titles?
Well, I mean, I used to think so, but then been doing a lot of New Japan stuff, looking into it, researching it a little, reading up on some of it, and they've got tons of titles. They've got a junior heavyweight, a intercontinental, a U.S. World heavyweight. They got junior tag. They got heavyweight tag. They've got never open
open weight.
Yeah, never open weight. They've got what's that? That's like 7 titles. And if you think about it, they've got 8. They don't have a women's title, so
they don't have a women's division.
Yeah, so you've got 8 if you well, I mean, if you count cruiserweight title, and if you do NXT, then you're talking like, and they've got 8, 8, and 8, 4 and 4 and 4, and then the cruiserweight. So you're talking a lot, but then they're trying to separate them by brand, but then they bring it all together in a pay-per-view. So I don't know. I used to think they had a lot, but then some of the other, like looking at New Japan, is kind of like what we're considering second, really, the second biggest company. They've got a ton of titles too. So,
but the thing about their titles is that they are regularly defended in other promotions. Take All In, for example.
Okay,
which is,
but
no.
Wait a minute. What does that have to do with regularly defended in other promotions? The question is, do they have more titles? Do you think WWE has a lot of titles? You know what? Looking at the competition, it's somewhat even, in a sense. Not where it's defended.
But I think where it's defended matters. You know why? Because
I don't think so.
Well, if you have a lot of titles, you can cross-promote, you can cross-brand, you can say, hey, this champion can fight. It's kind of like a territory system, almost like the NWA, where you have a champion for each territory, but they go to other territories to make other people look better. So I think while they do have a lot of titles, the cross-promotional power of those titles, I think, carries a lot of weight. Whereas WWE is its own singular entity with all the titles in it. So it's kind of like, yeah, they have them, but do they really mean anything if you can't do anything with them?
I understand what you're saying, but you're talking like, I don't know.
The problem is they're still titles.
I don't know how to
New
make
Japan,
an analogy.
So it would still make them. It would still make New Japan have more titles, regardless of where they're defended.
Yeah, that's true too.
I can get behind that logic.
Like, I understand your point. Like, oh, they're defended at different promotions, but they're still New Japan titles. So regardless of who the winner is, it's still a New Japan title, making them still have, X amount of titles under the belt, as opposed to WWE that has, like, I forget how many they have. I don't really like to count those.
Well, let's say 2 world titles,
12.
2 women's titles, 2 second-tier titles, that's 6. Cruiserweight, 7.
2 tag team titles.
13 titles.
9. NXT, 10. North American, 11. NXT Tag, 12. UK Women's Championship, 13.
North American.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of a UK.
We said that one. We said North America. Yeah, so 13
okay.
titles. Which is a lot of titles.
A lot of titles.
Yeah.
And then we see New Japan has World, Intercontinental, US, that's 3.
Junior heavyweight.
Yeah, Tag, Junior Tag, that's 4. Junior Heavyweight, that's 5. Never Openweight, Never Openweight 6-man, that's 7.
Oh yeah, 6-man.
So yeah, they have 7 titles.
So yeah.
But, to each their own.
Yeah, but they're also not promoting on different brands with different titles. I mean, it's just one brand.
That's true.
So, and if you really think of it, like your UK is, in other words, what WWE is probably trying to do is what New Japan is doing, establishing each entity, each of their programming as its own territory. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, instead of like the Raw people fighting they do that every once in a while where they cross-promote, like at, Survivor Series. They just don't, they're different territories, and each territory is different. NXT is not the same as the main roster people, right? Same thing with
Correct.
UK. Same thing as Cruiserweight. Their programming is all different. So,
now, having said that, I understand that you can classify each show as its own territory, right? And then you come together on the main shows, kind of like a NWA show back in the day would have different people from different territories on the one super show, right? Now, do you think with WWE having that many territories within one system, quote unquote, do you think it dilutes anything or makes anything less important?
No. What you would consider, and I'm going based off me knowing you, the NXT title more prestigious than the other ones, especially Universal, correct?
I wouldn't say it's more prestigious than the WWE title. I want the WWE title to be more prestigious, but I think for the last 2 or 3 years, the work rate of the NXT title has been a lot greater than the WWE title.
Okay, but it's still like you would think it's better, right? At this
Right
point.
now, right now, yeah.
Right
Even
now.
with AJ as champion, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes
So-
me sad, but
So I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like again, it's a territorial thing. Do you think ROH is better or New Japan is better than ROH?
yes, at this
Right.
point, yeah.
At this
Yeah.
point. So if you think of and then of course, Impact is the lower person on the totem pole, right?
Yep.
I'm assuming if you're going to go out to the three on the side that we all know about. I don't even know where if you want to add Lucha Underground, they're their own entity as well.
They're super low, I think.
Well, I don't know. I don't watch their products, so I don't know. I mean, I hear good things. There's good things about them. But let's just say that. So, I mean, if you look at that, you're saying New Japan and ROH, Impact, and let's say Lucha. So if you look on the other side where it's kind of like their own entity and their own... It's like Disney World. Disney World has their own worlds, right?
Yes.
Inside one big company. That's the WWE. So, you like some worlds better than the other, right? The indies are the same thing. You have their worlds, and you like some worlds better than the other. Think of WWE as Marvel, and the indies as DC. We have one giant connected universe, right?
That
And
makes
then you
sense,
have
though.
a bunch of independent movies that try to connect every once in a while and sometimes fail.
That makes sense. It makes a lot
Right?
of sense when you put it that way.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Especially
All
since
right.
we're comic book guys, so yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can get behind that analogy.
There you go. There's your analogy. And sometimes, with the superstar shakeups, you get some of the entities to cross over. That's why it's a cinematic universe.
So the pay-per-views are the Avengers, but each particular show is its own series, basically.
Correct.
Okay, that works.
And think of it like if you got New Japan's, that the DCU's Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Right?
I'd have to agree because
Right. And ROH is like, Batman vs Superman.
I think we're going
we're sidetracking.
we're
But
going way abstract here, but yeah.
I'm trying to, make something here, like a connection of some sort.
Ah, you got it.
All right, well, there you go. So we usually record this on a Thursday, but this week was a little crazy because I had a little sick man who's doing much better. And so we're doing this on Sunday. So this past, last night or today?
Last night.
Last night had All In. So let us know. What did you think, Mr. Marcus?
I think that if you're a wrestling fan, this is the type. Well, if you're an old school wrestling fan, this is the type of pay-per-view that you will want to watch. It was the perfect combination of an old school mentality, an old school feel, with modern wrestlers. Every match.
Can you
Come again?
explain what you mean by old school?
People sold, the storylines made sense, everything was very streamlined, and each match can pretty much be put in its own little world, whereas now things are overproduced, everything bleeds over to everything else. It doesn't feel very contiguous, I want to say. This show, from start to finish, it flowed. Every match got its time. All the stories made complete sense, and the work rate was amazing. If you were to watch this and look at the stage setup and the way that the cameras worked around the matches as the matches happened, it was one of those type of feelings where you're like, oh, I can get behind this. Imagine watching wrestling for the first time and kind of just like being in awe of the size and the larger-than-life personalities and everything of that nature. That's what All In was. And for an indie show, you would kind of think, are you going to get us like a bunch of high spots and a lot of hype, but nothing that really makes you want to come back and say, I can watch this every week or once every month? No, All In was pretty much the epitome of what you will want from a wrestling show if you're a long-time wrestling fan. Let me see. Let me go through the matches. Let me pull up the match order.
Now, there was a report going out that the main event, which was, I believe, the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi against Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Phoenix, was a little short. Is that true?
It was a little short, but for a 6-man tag, you wouldn't expect it to really be that long. You expect more high spots, more of the flashy stuff, especially with 3 luchadors and the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi, who are known for a lot of their high-flying antics. Let me see. So you have the over-the-budget Battle Royal with Moose, Jordan Grace, Colt Cabana, Ethan Page, Rocky Romero, Brian Cage, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Jacobs, Marco Stunt, Brendan Cutler, Punishment Martinez, Austin Gunn, and 3 to be determined.
The Billy Gunn?
The Mr. Ass himself.
Oh, okay.
The
I'm sorry,
winner-
I just needed to say the Billy Gunn.
Well, grammatically you would say the because it's before a word with a consonant, but whatever.
I like the.
Wow.
It sounds more old school English. The.
The over-the-budget Battle Royal, I think, was won by Flip Gordon, because there was 2 matches that didn't show up on the pay-per-view. Those were the 2 matches that showed on the first hour on WGN America, so that wasn't shown on the pay-per-view, but I think Flip Gordon won. The Briscoes versus SoCal Uncensored was also on that show. The women's match, Madison Rayne versus Chelsea Green versus Britt Baker, who was a girlfriend of Adam Cole, versus Tessa Blanchard, was a great women's match. That's the physicality, the way they presented it, the way that everything was executed in the match, I think exceeds what you see right now in WWE. Like these women are really good. You got Canadian Destroyers, which really surprised me, and a bunch of cool stuff. Tessa Blanchard came out with Magnum TA and her father Tully.
Wow.
Britt Baker came out to Adam Cole's Ring of Honor music, which I thought was pretty cool. Madison Rayne was there, Chelsea Green. The match was won by Tessa Blanchard, and Tessa's amazing. Like, she's really good. I didn't know she was that good. Stephen Amell versus Christopher Daniels. Stephen Amell did really good for somebody who's not a wrestler. I was impressed, surprised. I was really pleased. Christopher Daniels, obviously led him through the match and guided him through it, but
I think
that was a really good
Christopher
match.
Daniels is a good person to do that. He's very well. Very good.
I saw a post that Amel did on his Instagram. His chest was red.
The chops.
Yeah. Them chops, man.
Oh, they laid into each other. And the interesting thing to note is that the ring wasn't mic'd, so when people got chopped, you didn't hear that loud. You didn't hear that, but you can see it on their faces, and you can see the sweat fly and everything else. So they were chopping each other, even though you didn't really hear it come across like you would on like WWE or other promotions where they mic the ring so you hear everything. Christopher Daniels won with the best moonsault ever. It's a good match. They shook hands afterwards. Chicago Street Fight, Joey Janela versus Hangman Page. I don't know if you guys know anything about Hangman Page, Adam Page, but
not familiar with him.
He reminds me a lot of a young Shawn Michaels. His facial expressions, the way he conducts himself inside the ring, his moves. Everybody says that he's going to be the next big star as far as wrestling, and after watching this match, I have to agree. He's really good. I suggest that you all see his work. He got the victory over Joey Janela. Okada versus Marty Scurll was the semi-main event. That match, if you ever seen Marty Scurll wrestle, this match is one of his showcases. The storyline going into this was he's a junior heavyweight trying to be a heavyweight, and he's scoring against one of the top 3 heavyweights in the world in Okada. Nobody really gave him a chance. Everybody wrote him off, but he showed up. He fought Okada, had a really good showing, and I think this might be the start of Marty Scurll in the heavyweight division showing what he could do against people much bigger than him. Kind of like the little, like a Rey Mysterio, like a small underdog, but that match was amazing. Deserved to be semi-main. Ring of Honor World Title, Jay Lethal versus Flip Gordon. Jay Lethal won. Lanny Poffo came out with him.
All right.
Yeah, so which was pretty cool.
Did he do a poem?
No, he wasn't the genius, but he came out just as, Lanny Poffo. And the gimmick that Jay Lethal's doing right now is that if you hit him a certain way, he turns into the Macho Man. So he was switching. He was switching back and forth between Macho and Jay Lethal the whole fight.
Oh God!
And it was really entertaining, man. Jay Lethal's really tapped out. I'm surprised he's ever been in WWE with how talented he is. But hey, man, it was awesome. It was a good match.
I don't think he'd be as good if he was in WWE. Honestly,
I think he would be overproduced.
Yeah.
And which is remember that point production? Because I want to ask you guys a question after.
I'll
Flip
think
Gordon
about
is also really good too. Flip Gordon surprised me with a name like Flip. You would expect a lot of high flying, which he did, but he's really good, especially for his age. The NWA World Title, Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes. I almost teared up a little bit watching this one just because of watching Dusty, knowing the history of the NWA title, and watching his son compete for it and win it with a kind of a Dusty finish. It wasn't, nobody hit their signature move to win, but Cody won with a reverse roll up. And to see the emotion on Cody's face, to have his wife out there, to have DDP out there, it was one of those moments where you just kind of like sit back and you go, I just saw history. Like, wow, he won the title that his dad won like 30-something years ago, So that was amazing.
That's a nice feel-good moment.
Yeah, and I don't know how long he's going to hold that title, because obviously he's not signed with the NWA, but this is going to probably get the title more mainstream coverage between ROH, New Japan, or whatever other indies Cody's are doing. So I think it's going to be good for all parties that he has the title now. Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. As far as work rate goes, I will probably put this match number 1. I would say Kenny versus Pentagon, Okada versus Marty as the top 2 matches as far as work rate goes. And then Matt Cross versus MJF. I'll get to Matt Cross in a second, but that was Kenny and the Pentagon put on a really good match. Kenny won with One Winged Angel. Main event, Young Bucks, Kota versus Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito. Phoenix is the brother of Pentagon Jr., like they're blood related in real life. Shorter match, but really good. Young Bucks and Kota won. The opening match was Matt Cross versus MJF. And Matt Cross is always somebody that I've heard about. Never really saw his matches. Saw a lot of, highlight reels on YouTube, but watching him wrestle, makes me want to see more of what he can do. Like, he's very impressive. Yeah, that was the whole card. Oh, Jericho showed up and attacked Kenny after his match. Anything else interesting happened? I think that's pretty much it.
Did they have a showing of CM Punk?
CM Punk was the day before. He had a signing at what's that T-shirt place that they use?
Oh,
Wrestling
tees.
Yeah. And apparently his line was 6 blocks long, lasted for 7 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, I mean I'm excited to see it. Where did you watch it?
I went to the Fight app, Fight TV.
All right.
It's $40 for the pay-per-view, but pretty much worth it. Very much worth it, I think.
And I believe you said it was going to be the New Japan app as well.
That's what it said on the article that I read. It said that immediately after it's going to be streaming on video on demand on New Japan World, but when I went to the site, it didn't have it, and then I read further, reading different articles, and they said that it's going to be up, but the date and time is going to be determined.
Okay, so it might not even be this week, it might be next week.
Yeah, we don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be up eventually. But I think it's $40 well spent if you're a wrestling fan.
I mean, you're also supporting them who put a lot of their own money into it, so...
Yeah, 10,000 seats sold out in less than 30 minutes. You can't get much better than that, man.
No, not at all.
No.
Oh, I was going to talk about production.
Oh, go for it.
No. So, WWE, I'm not sure if you guys agree, but their production can be a little overproduced sometimes. Like camera angles, crowd reactions, just kind of the way that they present the products sometimes can be a little like, but you guys are doing too much. If you watch this show, all the camera angles, all of the way the ring was produced, the way that the stage was set, it was like a perfect balance of everything. Nothing seemed over the top. The way that they dimmed the lights when matches happened, it was a really nice touch. I'm not sure what you guys see as far as production value in WWE, but this was pretty good. Like, people didn't stand at all angles when they talked to each other. They actually like faced each other. Nobody played to the hard camera. It was nice. It was refreshing to see that.
How about Neville?
Didn't show up.
No?
Nope.
Wow.
He just got released recently on his... so maybe he's on a 90-day no-compete
No,
since he's...
he doesn't have one.
No?
He can go wherever he wants.
Well, there's rumors that he's going to show up at, like, New Japan.
Maybe it was too late from his release that they couldn't get him there.
I know Cody. I think Cody wanted him, but you have to realize that you actually have to pay him to be there, and they might already, as far as their budget and everything goes, might already been at their cap. So.
Well, I read somewhere that they actually offered CM Punk a match and even told him who he was going to wrestle.
That would have been awesome, but he says he's done, so.
Yeah.
Can't fault the man for that.
No, guess you can't. So no CM Punk. Jericho comes in for a angle to promote his cruise, right?
Yeah, he basically said after he beat up, because after Kenny won, the lights went down. Pentagon Jr. has a very distinctive ring attire, so Jericho appear like how the Undertaker shuts the lights off and shuts the lights back on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So after Kenny won, the lights went out. You see, it was a good 20 seconds. The lights come back and you see Pentagon Jr. still laying in the ring. Pops up, attacks Kenny, and then you go, wait, his tattoos are different. You look at his tattoos and you say, that's Jericho. So then after he beat up Kenny, he grabbed the mic. He said, I will see you at the Jericho Cruise. So
Nice.
Yeah, good promotion there.
Yeah. Well, if any of our fans have seen All In and have any comments to what they think it could be, or what they enjoyed or disliked, or anything in between, give us a shout out. Let us know on our Facebook page called Marks and Smarks, also our Twitter account in the same name. As for other people in the CM Punk clan, there was always a rumor saying that AJ Lee was going to make the WWE Evolution pay-per-view. That's the all-women's pay-per-view. It's been confirmed. Well, it's been rumored, but it hasn't been confirmed. Do you think she would make an appearance, or do you think there's just too much bad blood between the company and her husband to warrant her coming in?
I mean, if you want a good crowd reaction, and if you want to sell seats, well, sell tickets, then you would do it regardless of the bad blood. You would try to appease her. I don't know if she'll do it though, because it's her and her husband who have bad blood with the company, and if she takes it, it'd be kind of a slap to her husband's face. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think she'll be there.
I doubt she'll be there too, but you never know.
I would like for her to be there.
I would like for her to be there, but I doubt she'll be there.
Yeah, I would like for her to be there, and I would like to see her at least one more time, but with all the bad blood that between all three parties, it's highly unlikely.
Because when you say the women's revolution, she's pretty much like...
She was it. Her and Lito, for me, were like the anti-divas of their respective generation.
I think she's the one that started it, the women's revolution, as much as Stephanie likes to take credit for it. I think she was the person who originated it.
Yeah. Her and Paige like to take credit for it, but...
And I don't think CM Punk would have a problem with her being there, because he seems the type of husband that promotes independence. Like, you do what you want to do, But still, I don't think she'll show up.
It's not so much that he would have a problem. Would it be like, how would the people see it as? It's like, wow, you're like, your husband doesn't want anything to do with the company, but you went to the company. I don't know. People have their opinions. People say whatever they want to say, but people should butt out, but they don't.
The thing about it is that CM Punk gets a lot of slack, right? People, not slack, but he gets a lot of grief online. People who think they know what they're talking about, those Smarks, those damn Smarks.
Right.
They think they know what they're talking about. They talk all types of crap. But at the end of the day, he has a hot wife. He's a millionaire. He could do basically whatever he wants to do. So who are we, or who are they to say, what he should do, what he can't do? Like, dude, do whatever he wants. And I'm still a fan, so.
I mean, there is this now backlash from him, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but they won that lawsuit against the doctor at WWE, him and Colt Cabana. Now him and Colt Cabana are in a legal dispute regarding money.
Yep.
Apparently, what's his name? Punk said that he would help Cabana with the legal fees, and then after he paid like half, and now saying to Cabana he's got to do the other half. And apparently, there's been some backlash on it, having having people get upset with CM Punk because he should be doing whatever he said she'd be doing. We don't know the particulars. We don't know what really went on, what was said. This is just
conjecture at this point.
Yeah, at this point. And I listened to Colt Cabana's podcast, and he hasn't mentioned it. He mentioned it, but he said that he was trying to, he wasn't going to speak about it.
He probably can't talk about it.
Well, he was upset that it got out.
Yeah, especially if it goes to litigation, he probably can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
But it's whatever, man. I mean, CM Punk paid for some dude's house. He was like, "Oh, you're having problems? I'll buy your house for you." He did that. So, knowing his history and how he helps his people, his friends,
Maybe they're not friends. I don't know. Maybe that's over.
I don't know. I think there's more to it than we're actually hearing because he didn't want it to get out. So we don't know all the facts. We don't know all the details. Party never really will. That's one of them dishes everything, but that's between them. And I don't,
What is it? My name is Carl, and that's between y'all. No, that's not how that works.
I don't know if that's the way it works. That's probably something for old timers like you, but
Damn. We had to go throw the old timer stuff at me, huh? Or this is between. I don't know. All right. So, is there any other newsworthy, out of the box things that are not WWE?
I don't think so. Not for
I don't
my
have anything else. I know Neville's released the All In pay-per-view. AJ rumors. Big Cass is going on the Indies. He's now called the Big C. Do you think Cass is received the Big C or just is the Big C?
Wow, I don't know, man.
No comment on that?
No comment on that. I just think he's a big L.
Well, apparently he even agreed that if he did a bunch of mistakes at the same time, and if he was Vince McMahon, he would have fired him as well. So,
well, at least he has come to terms that he did effed up.
Well, he's also saying he's gonna redeem himself and bring himself back. So, hey, it's happened before. Look at Ginger and who's his name? McIntyre.
Yeah,
dude. What's his name? If Big C got on steroids and got swole, he'll be back like next month.
Well, we'll see what he looks like. He's going to be doing, I think it's called Big Time Wrestling as his first indie, so.
Yeah, man, just shoot up one time, like Jinder did, get swole, you'll be back. You might even become champion.
You are calling out poor Jinder.
To
you don't even know.
All our listeners out there, let's just say allegedly, because I personally don't want Ginger to come at me. I don't know what Mark is, but I don't want him to come at me.
You'll be alright, I got you.
You're going to a super kick party?
Yeah, man. Everybody's invited.
Alright, so this week's programming of WWE, since I had a very sick child with a flu and a fever, I did not get to watch much. So you guys are going to have to run this.
Dude, sorry you weren't paying attention Monday and Tuesday? Did you see it, Big Ralph?
Yeah?
I'll let you talk about it. Like, give me a topic and I'll see if I remember it or not. Because
all right. Here, I'll throw some topics out. All right. So they started off with the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, right? He addresses what happened, then who comes out but the Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Yeah, anytime Roman Reigns comes out and has a mic on his hands, I'm like, skip.
So the Monster Among comes out, says he's going to officially cash in the Money in the Bank at the next pay-per-view. They agree, so two baby faces saying, all right, we're good. Then comes out I don't even know what you're going to call them. I guess Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, the Dudes with Attitude, too.
Dudes with Attitude.
Yeah.
They're doing their whole heel shtick, and then the new GM, or the substitute GM, I guess, until Angle comes back. Corbin says he's going to set up a tag team.
I read it online. The poor man's Big Show.
The poor man's Big Show.
Yes.
So
That's
we
what
got
they
a
call
tag
them
team.
online, though.
So then the poor man's Big Show decides he's going to have one more crack at Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, the man.
In like a no disqualification match. He delivers bunch of chair shots.
It was a regular match. Which Finn Balor won. Then he's like, "Oh, wait, no. Let me change it. It's I forgot to mention it's a no disqualification match because he had used the chair to beat up Finn Balor. So then they restarted the match, and Corbin ended up winning. I remember that part, which I found to be the stupidest thing ever. But it kind of plays into him being a heel.
They're probably establishing, what's his name, Baron Corbin's gimmick as being the new general manager.
What I don't understand, I don't know if you guys
You don't shit and you don't fuck.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
I'm so sorry for you.
I know.
No, sorry. I got distracted by something. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I think the whole like bad GM, bad supervisor thing, I think it's overplayed. I think they should stop doing that. I don't think.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, this dynamic where you have two heels at the top is something different. Because you're going to say the Stephanie McMahon character is more of a heel, and the Baron Corbin character is more of a heel when you always had like opposites. Except for, I guess, on SmackDown when you had
two faces.
Shane McMahon and Bryan as two faces, which you kind of have the same thing when Paige there. But now we haven't seen much of Shane McMahon, so it's just one face type SmackDown, the general manager. So, I mean, I like the dynamic. It gives Corbin something different than what he was doing. I think he was just out there, lost, and he's not doing a bad job. I mean, it looks like a waiter from Fridays. He's in the front of the house. He's your greeter. Hi, welcome to Raw.
He's your hostess.
Yeah,
with the mostest.
How may I sit you? Where would you like to be seated? How many in your party?
Oh, I don't know.
I just think they need to stop this, angle. I think it's over. They should have finished it when the Demon came out.
They should have.
I think that the bad GM angle should have died when McMahon stopped doing it because it worked better with him. Like when McMahon was, Mr. McMahon and just running everything, I think that's when it worked the best. Now it's just kind of like overplayed, and I think it should stop. I think William Regal's the perfect example of a GM.
I agree with you, and it should only be the McMahon who does whether it's Stephanie, because Stephanie does a good heel. But I don't think it should be just any wrestler. It should just be a McMahon doing the heel, because then you feel like, okay, I actually believe that Stephanie can fire someone on the spot because they pissed her off.
Yeah, Corbin's just like, you're just like, I understand they want to get heat, and he's supposed to be obnoxious, but I'm just
he is obnoxious.
It just doesn't work for me. I'm just like, no, thank you.
All right, then the next match was Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks. The only thing I see, and I'm reading this, was that after the loss, it looks like Titus O'Neil is getting disgusted with both, like he's just getting dejected with both, Brooke and Cruz. So it might be the split up of Titus worldwide. I think that went on too long anyway, and it's kind of good to give Cruz and Dana Brooke something new. Also, with Evolution, you kind of need Dana Brooke to look some screen time, some TV time.
Give her something. Give Titus something too, because not Titus, but
Cruz.
What's his name? Apollo. Yeah, because Apollo's way too talented to be stuck with Titus, and Titus, he's never really done anything.
No, it takes talent to slide under the ring.
That is true. It does.
So, if anything, he will always be remembered as the guy who slid under the ring. Like, if I would have played that off, I would have slid under the ring and got all the way to the other side and came out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really liked him, so it's whatever.
He is a former tag team champion.
But this might sound controversial, but do you think they gave that to him because of Darren Young?
No.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
All right, so the match of the night, or at least the match of Raw, Rollins versus KO, with Rollins defeating KO to retain. This is for the IC title, and then after that, KO sits in the middle of the ring and just says, "I quit."
That was a hell of a match, if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
That was a good match. I'm surprised that KO didn't win, though.
There's got to be a story if they're saying he's quitting.
A lot of people thought that he was going to show up at All In.
Yeah, but he would have to get the approval from McMahon. That would have been fun.
It would have been great, but obviously it didn't happen. But I think that would have been really cool if you did show up.
All right, so another noteworthy match, or just a match, is Ambrose fighting Ginger. Just kind of showing the new man, the new Ambrose.
He's swole now.
Huh?
He's swole now.
Yeah, he looks good.
And it's not the juice either. It's like natural. You can tell.
So he wins that match against Ginger.
You and that juice, man.
Dude, I call it like I see it, man. If you're in the juice, you're in the juice, man.
So the main event was Reigns and Strowman versus Ziggler and McIntyre. Let's see.
I don't know. I don't know if Braun Strowman's a flat out heel now. I don't know how that works.
So let's see. I'm gonna read this out. The main event: Roman Reigns up to the start. Strowman and let me read this. Beat down, isolated Strowman. Universal Champion was punished and pummeled. So when he finally made the tag to Strowman, he stood stoically watching the ringside as Ziggler and McIntyre beat him down. The Monster Among Men joined in on the assault, so he started beating up on Reigns and told Reigns, "I'm not finished with you. I'm not finished with you." And then Dean Ambrose rushed to the ring, but was dispatched. Also Rollins. The heels left the Shield line, so he is heel.
Yeah, it appeared so.
So they took their hottest babyface and just made him heel, like within a second. Did the crowd boo?
I think
the crowd cheered when he was beating up Roman Reigns, which anyone beating up Roman Reigns is gonna get a pop. But when he started beating up Ambrose and Rollins, that's when everyone started kind of like...
The crowd didn't know how to react.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, he's beating up Reigns, so hey, yay! But he's beating up our two favorites, so it's like...
Well, what did they expect? The man got triple powered bomb through a frickin' table. You did not think he was going to retaliate in some way?
Oh, you knew it was coming.
I mean, everyone knew it was coming, but it's kind of like, it's still one of those, like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
I think this is a trend they're doing. I don't know if it's Vince rebelling against the fans, but Becky Lynch, arguably the most over female on the SmackDown roster, turned her heel, right?
Right.
Braun Strowman, arguably again the most over talent on the Raw roster, turned him heel.
Right.
I don't understand why Vince is doing this when Charlotte's a natural heel. She's better as a heel. Roman should have been heel years ago. And I'm just like, why doesn't Vince just kind of give in and be like, all right, let's do this to see how it works. So we did another Daniel Bryan scenario where the crowd literally turns and makes you do something. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why he wants to fight this so much.
The problem is they've invested so much in this Roman Reigns persona that they're at the point where it's like, it's going to work whether the fans like it or not. We're going to make it work. Unfortunately, we don't like I don't want to say crappy, but I can't think of a better word, a crappy Roman Reigns. He was better when he was part of the Shield and they were doing heelish stuff. And, keep his mic to a minimum. Just believe that. And that's it. Like Naruto, believe that.
Believe it.
But don't you think that the end justifies the means, in a sense? I mean, like you said, he got beat up last week. He's coming back to retaliate, right? Same thing with Becky on the other brand, right? Carmella wins the title, right? No, Charlotte wins the title.
Charlotte
they have the rematch this week. Then you've got the end of the match. She still wins. Becky comes and beats up Charlotte again. I mean, it fits.
Yes, but the first beat up where she's like, after the pay-per-view, she's just all fed up, all the emotions. I understand that one. but especially after you see her Twitter and her Instagram post where she's like, Charlotte, you waited until I had my back to you and you beat me up. I did it to your face. This time Charlotte wins and she comes out from behind and attacks her, and it's kind of contradictory for me. It's like, you can't say
contradictory.
Yes, I
Isn't
made
that a
a word.
chicken dish? I'm going to have the contradictory.
It's a big Ralph word of the podcast.
All right,
is it
word
the
of
word
the
of the hour?
podcast. New segment.
It's my word of the hour.
We got Big Ralph with the word of the podcast.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like, you can't say that you're gonna do things, to their face, and then the next week is like, oh, I'm gonna attack you from behind because I guess I'm a heel now, so I do that.
Well, do you like that
But
better
is
than
she
the...
heel?
Huh?
Is she a heel? Because the crowd is popping.
The crowd is
Oh,
popping,
every
but she's
time.
doing heelish things. So,
The card is popping because we love Becky.
Yep.
So even if she's a heel, the crowd is gonna go for her.
well, is she doing anything different than Samoa Joe? I mean, Samoa Joe, look what he does to AJ Styles. He verbally berates him, and then he attacks him while he's on a stage, which I don't think they've used that stage forever.
That brings you back to old school, like
Old, right? Mean Gene standing there waiting for
yeah.
the gobbledygooker.
That's awesome. Not the gobbledygooker, but the inner style, the interview style.
Right.
And Renee Young is, oh my god, I love Renee Young. She's
I know.
awesome.
Renee Young, they got to have her do commentary more.
But not on cement, right?
So I
Definitely
guess
not.
the arguably the best match of SmackDown wasn't really the Charlotte Carmella. From what I understand, it was the possibilities or what could have been between the Daniel Bryan and Andre Cien Almas match. From what I read and what I've heard, it was amazing, and it shows what could happen if those two get a good program together.
You know what though? I'm gonna give match of the night to Carmella, surprisingly, and Charlotte, just because of the way that Cien Almas match ended.
Well, you gotta keep that feud going with The Miz, so it makes sense. But I was told that the match
out of that.
yeah, I was heard or read that the match was actually something that people are going to get excited when those two actually meet.
You think he resigns?
Who?
Brian.
I don't think so.
You think
I
he's
think
done?
they're gonna work with that possibility. It's like, oh, he might not sign. I think they're just trying so that his matches get more hype. It's like, oh, it might be the last match that he has in the company. But I don't think he's going to resign. Not yet, at least.
I don't think so either. From things I've read and interviews I've read that he's done, it sounds like he's there.
Because I'm thinking it's
Like
September.
he's a company man. Also, his wife has so much invested into that company, between the
Total
Bellas and their line and all that stuff, that, if they're going to do Total Bellas without him,
Because 3 months from now is what? We're in the 9th month. So you have December. If he doesn't resign, that's pretty much when his no-compete clause will be up. In January, you have Wrestle Kingdom. So I'm thinking, it's a possibility.
I don't know. It seems far-fetched.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing for me works, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
And if he has the 90-day no compete clause, then
It puts him right at Wrestle Kingdom.
you just said it was a
right there.
3-month thing, so he does it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does because it's September now, and his contract is up in a few weeks. So
I assumed that the contract was up in December. My bad. I misunderstood.
I'm sorry. That happens a lot with me.
Damn. Anybody say
I acknowledge my mistakes, man.
Anybody see 205 Live?
Nope.
Nope.
Anybody see NXT?
I did.
What was that? What was going on there?
Do I remember?
Do you want me to run it down?
Yeah, tell me the matches and I
All
remember.
right.
Oh, Keith Lee had his second match against some German guy. That was really good.
Just some German guy.
Well, he's shit. Stop.
Yeah, no, they don't write it. Luke Menzies.
I don't know.
Menzies.
That's his name,
Menzies.
That was a good match. I think Keith Lee, like I said, well, like I was supposed to say last podcast, but Keith Lee is really good, man. I think he's going to go really far, especially with he's one of those charisma wrestlers. But he can actually put it on. He has a couple decent moves too. There was a women's match that I don't remember. I don't know, man.
All right, so it was William Regal addressing Aleister Black's attack. Dakota Kai versus Aaliyah.
That was a good match.
EC3 versus Raul Mendoza.
EC3 won.
Yeah, and then Lars Sullivan beat him up.
Yep.
Keith Lee, Pete Dunne, and Ricochet versus the Undisputed Era. That's the match. That's the main event.
I think they are setting up.
They're setting up Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Wrestling.
That's next week, right?
I think it's next week.
They're setting up. Damn, I can't. I had it right.
Ricochet and Pete Dunne.
Yeah, for the North American title, or maybe for the UK title. But Pete Dunne was looking at Ricochet's title, like, you know what, man, I want that. And Ricochet was like, yeah. So the end of the match was inadvertent contact between Ricochet and Pete Dunne, costing them the match. So that might be a catalyst for them to have something in the future for a title.
All right.
That would be a good match.
That would be a good match. Hey, I actually did watch last week's NXT, which was Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson. That was a pretty damn good match, too.
Was it?
I liked it. It was both UK for the UK Championship. It was Zach Gibson. It looked really good. Zach Gibson, like, they had a lot of story behind it. He knocks his mouthpiece out, and he screwed up by, like, gonna throw it in the crowd, and then Pete Dunne grabs him and does his finisher, and that's it.
The bitter end.
But the bitter end. But it was really good. Very technical. Very, like, rough. Those guys were really smacking each other pretty hard.
Yeah, Pete Dunne is known for his strong style.
So,
who do you think beats Pete Dunne for that title, though? Because he's had it for well over a year.
I don't know. I don't know any of the new British people, if they're going to do it under the UK to see. I mean, I know this guy Zach Gibson. He was pretty good. He was the one who won the tournament, so this is his second time. Tyler Bate, man, he is so good. He is amazing. Like, I enjoy watching his matches. Him and Pete Dunne. So he would be the only one I would think, but they seem to be cutting that one off and trying to give other people opportunities. But
well, I know Pete Dunne got punished.
Pete Dunne or Tyler Bate?
Tyler Bate got punished for missing a date or not coming to it that they wanted him to come to. So I don't know if his punishment is still ongoing, if they still want to push him as a singles, or how that works. But yeah, I'm thinking if it's not Pete Dunne, it has to be Tyler Bate. He's probably the second most over person on the UK roster. You guys didn't know about that?
No?
No?
Yeah, Tyler Bate was supposed to... They asked him to come do a date, and he refused because he had something else going on, instead of canceling that date and going to the WWE event, and they did not like that at all.
Wow. Did not know that.
That was probably like a year ago or something like that.
Oh.
So
I was going to say they put the tag team titles on him, so couldn't have been that bad.
I don't know if he still has heat as a single, so, you know.
Maybe they don't want to put him in anything with the idea that he might, not be there.
Because hi, somebody's got a phone call.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but the people on the UK circuit, they can do indies in the UK, but they can't do indies in America.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
So Pete Dunne regularly defends his UK title in the UK on indie shows.
Well,
but
I believe that WWE has an understanding with Progress, which is UK based. Or Progress? Is it Progress? Progress.
Yeah. Progress Pro Wrestling.
So there's that.
Because Pete Dunne was the progress, like he actually brought his Progress World title to one of the UK shows that WWE hosted, and I was really surprised because even the announcer said the Progress World Champion Pete Dunne. I was like, oh, they're actually acknowledging another title, so that was pretty interesting.
Well, that's this week in wrestling. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact us by Marks and Smarks under Twitter, Facebook. Do we have an Instagram? No.
We have a UGeekly Instagram.
We have a UGeekly. We are part of the Unique Geek Network, or ugeekly.com. That's UGEEKLY.com. Come visit us on our website. After this, we're going to talk about Ronda Rousey and SummerSlam, and then NXT Brooklyn for the show from last week, which we only got half. There you'll hear the main event match of the week, which was Moustache Mountain versus the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team titles. So I guess we won't do our out cue because we're going to say it then.
Before you go, let's run down the points real quick.
Well, I think we should go and have the audios to run down the points back over there so they could hear those points, and then we could say the new points, for your 10-point lead from them.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. They'll hear it eventually.
I totally ran over it when you said, talk about All In, and then that was it. You ran with it. I was like, he didn't remember.
I remembered. I just, I didn't want to be, what the hell was that? I didn't want to be that guy.
I would have been that guy, totally.
See, I know you would have. I'm apparently more humble. So.
All right. Marcus is in the lead right now. What are the points, Mr. Spreadsheet God?
Oh, let me go back to the spreadsheet.
Oh, jeez, you don't even have it open? You don't have it open to gloat?
I thought one of you had it open.
No.
You're the spreadsheet God, you said.
All right, so...
You said you were the master of the spreadsheet.
Exactly, Ralph. Thank you.
Well, in last place, tied for last place, or let's just say tied for third place, is Joe and Andre with 63 points. Coming in at a strong second place, Big Ralph with 68 points. And taking back his title from last season, Marcus, 71 points.
Listen to the Ronda Rousey. And we'll talk to you next week. Well, don't say bye, because we'll be right back with Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam.
Oh, well, be right back.
Almost said it.
Ready.
So, according to the spreadsheet, we got everybody picking Rousey. Let me see.
Yeah?
Nope. Somebody picked Bliss.
Who picked Bliss?
What moron picked... Oh, it was me.
Did you really pick Bliss?
I wrote there was going to be a Natalya turn.
Oh, why would you do that?
Well, I thought, at the time, but then again, with the passing of her father, so...
Yeah, I don't think she's turning anytime soon.
She might join the corporation and Stephanie if you saw what happened on Raw this week. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know. All right, so I didn't get points on that one. So let's talk the last match. The last match of the night, Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Gotta say, it was a pretty good match.
I don't know. It felt clunky to me.
Honestly, I think it was one of their better matches.
Absolutely, was one of their better. And
I'm not gonna say it was one of the best matches of the night, but for a Lesnar Reigns match, it was pretty good.
I'm just happy the title's off Reigns. I mean, the title's off Lesnar.
I wish it was off Reigns too, but...
Oh, come on.
We thought that was going to happen, but...
I mean, look, we got Braun Strowman comes out, says he's going to stay there until he face the person who wins the match, right? He gets F5, right?
Right.
Lesnar, I mean, the finish was perfect. Reigns gets the win. Strowman doesn't cash in. We get the next night on Raw, we get Reigns saying, I'm going to give a shot to Balor. That was an amazing match. That was a damn good match, right?
That one was.
And then you got Strowman saying at the same time, hey, I'm going to cash in on whoever wins. We think we're going to get a cash in, and then who comes down but the Shield. Triple power bomb into the table. Come on. I think the story here is amazing, and I'll be happy if they make the Shield a heel faction.
Finally. I know it hurts Rollins because he was on fire as a babyface, but Dean isn't going to get hurt by going heel, and Roman definitely needs to go heel. So I'm just like, finally, please. Just
now I have a question on that. Okay. Because all this time that Reigns has been a singles competitor, they've never turned him heel. You actually think that they're going to turn him heel with the Shield? Or are they going to do a Braun Strowman kind of thing with the Shield, as in they're not really heel, but they're not really babyface. They're in that in-between stuff.
Well, you can't turn Strowman heel because he's already a heel. Well, he's a babyface that does heel things. So you can't turn him heel.
No,
so,
he's a babyface.
So you would have to turn the Shield heels, and they're already. But you can't do that either because people are going to cheer Rollins no matter what. I think.
Exactly. So that's why I'm asking. Like, do you think he's going to be that in between? Like the Shield's going to be that in between stuff again. Just like
their booking logic for this makes no sense. I'll pass it to Jose Sands to see what he says, but I don't know.
No, I think they go heel. I think Strowman's too big of a babyface at this point. I know he does heelish things, but he's a babyface. I mean, he pops, people pop, everybody loves him, and for him to have that faction go against him to try to maybe for once make him the underdog coming from underneath to beat a faction of 3 people. I think it's a good story, so I think you have to have the Shield heel.
But they're doing a rematch for the briefcase, Owens and Strowman, so maybe Owens might get the briefcase, man.
Maybe that furthers the storyline out of Strowman. They make it so Strowman loses, Owens gets the briefcase, you know? Gives him another reason not to be number 1 contender.
So I don't think Strowman needs the briefcase just because of who he is.
Right.
I think it will much better serve Owens, especially after the chicanery that he's been through. So we'll see what happens with this.
See what happens. The only person who picked Lesnar in this was Hollywood.
Yeah, because I didn't want Roman to win. I picked Lesnar with the caveat that he gets cashed in.
Which could have happened, which was there, but it didn't. The rest of us picked Reigns. Ralph said that it was going to be a cash-in as well. That didn't happen. I said Heyman was going to turn on Reigns. That didn't happen. So that was it.
The Andre pick, what did he say? Or
he just said Reigns. He didn't have a pick on it.
All right.
So that was SummerSlam. Let us know what you think of the matches in whole. I guess we can agree that the Rollins-Ziggler match was the match of the night.
Followed by the women's match.
Followed by the Flair, Lynch, Carmella match. Then you got the Samoa Joe, AJ. I would even dare say Ronda and Bliss was very good. And even the last match with the ending they had was very good. So it was a strong SummerSlam altogether.
That's all right.
Yeah. Of course, the person with the less enthusiasm because it's not New Japan that has storylines that nobody could ever follow because we can't watch the house shows.
I just think NXT was better.
Okay. So tell us what you think about SummerSlam. Follow us at our website on ugeekly.com. That's ugeekly.com. We also have Marks and Smarks under Twitter, Facebook. Do we have an Instagram? I don't think we have one for that.
Just
but ugeekly Instagram, but you can follow us there. Let us know what you think, whether you thought SummerSlam was a very solid SummerSlam. Now, we're going to go into NXT, but we're going to go into what we are going to consider the main event match of the night. Now, I'm going going that way. I figured, why not? So, because it's hard to talk about NXT Brooklyn without talking about the first match, which we're considering the main match of the week. The match, if you're going to see any wrestling or didn't see any wrestling this weekend, this is the match you should watch because this is the match that overshadowed all of them. The Undisputed Era versus Moustache Mountain for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Now, for the record, I think we all picked Undisputed.
Yep.
And we all won. But if you didn't see this match, I urge you to see it. Now, do you need to know a background on it? Maybe, because you've had Moustache Mountain beating the Undisputed Era for the Tag Team Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championships at the UK tournament. Then you had a return match on NXT where Undisputed, this was the rubber match. There was a whole story with Trent Seven's leg and knee. They continue that storyline. At one point, Tyler Bate had to throw in the towel on that match so that he wouldn't destroy his knee. Same scenario happened this time, but instead it was the opposite. Tyler Bate was in a bad way. Trent Seven was thinking of throwing in the towel, decided not to. Willed him to go. I mean, the match had everything. It had ups, it had downs. I'm going to say that Tyler Bate is like the strongest individual I have ever seen. The man picks up and swings two people at the same time. I don't know how the hell he does that.
Dude, he's solid. Like, solid, strong. Like, I saw him do that, and I was like,
his legs are like tree trunks.
And a muscular. So yeah, he's OP to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, the false finishes, the people hitting their moves, and Tyler Driver hit out the what is it, the 7-star lariat, kick out. They do their finisher, kick out. Roderick Strong does his kick out. I mean, back and forth. It was one of those matches that you didn't know who was going to win, and when the outcome happened with the high-low, and they actually pinned Trent Seven, you were like, I didn't even think that was going to be the end. I thought he was going to kick out of that because of the way the match was going.
I've seen Red Dragon stuff with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and that was amazing. So when they came to NXT, I was like, all right, Bobby Fish gets hurt. Then they pair him with Roderick Strong. I saw a lot of Roderick Strong stuff in Ring of Honor, TNA. Saw him do his world title run in Ring of Honor. And he never really stood out to me as somebody who's just like, oh, I got to watch this guy. But the chemistry that he has with Kyle O'Reilly, you would think they've been wrestling together for years, right? Like, he's almost, if not as good as the tag team with Fish and O'Reilly. And I'm just like, that was a perfect tag team match. They picked the body part. They worked on it. The tandem stuff was good. The stuff outside of the ring was good. You would think you would see interference from either Fish or Cole, and you didn't. And the false finishes, everything, the whole story, like, that was a complete package of the story and the in-ring action, and that deserves to be match of the weekend.
Yep. What do you think, Big Ralph?
No, I agree. I mean, ever since I started watching Tyler Bate, he has become one of my favorites. He is like the NXT for me. He's my NXT version of Rollins, where he does some great matches.
He can do everything too.
Yeah.
He can high fly. He can get technical. He can brawl. He can do pretty much everything. And he's only, 22, 21 years old?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like, he has a long career if he doesn't get major injured. And then the ending, where War Raiders come in and decimate the Undisputed Era, setting up the next feud. Perfect.
Dude, did you see how they picked up that grown man in the air, caught him, and then slammed him? I was like, how do you pick up a grown man and just throw him in the air like that?
No, it was amazing.
He got hyped.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? I've never seen that before. Somebody just pick up a grown man like that. And like a man, like 6 feet, a solid 200 something pounds, just threw him in the air like it was nothing. And just, I was like, dude. That was impressive.
No, very impressive. I've seen them do that a couple of times, but still, every time you see it, it's just, damn.
But now, because I know eventually Adam Cole is probably going to transition into a face just because of his personality, who he is, like the way he carries himself. Plus, the people just love Adam Cole. So, do War Raiders now become the heels and Undisputed transition into faces after that?
I don't know. It's a good question. I'm excited to see where they go because it's.
I mean, I guess the question would be is, do you see the War Raiders as face
I don't know.
after what they just did? Like,
because people love Undisputed, and I don't think the War Raiders are going to get as much crowd corporation as Undisputed does. Because
I don't know. People cheer War Raiders.
They do, but I think they cheer Moustache Mountain more.
Oh, yeah.
And it was pretty much split in the arena between Undisputed and Moustache Mountain, so I think the crowd favoritism goes towards Undisputed in that match.
I don't think War Raiders have been established as much in NXT to make it like people cheer. Unless you know them from New Japan or ROH, you know?
Like Marcus does?
I haven't seen that much of their work, to be honest with you.
They're probably on house shows.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're jobbers, man. They're the dark match before even the house show starts.
So, definitely the match of the night, match of the weekend, match of the week, everything. The whole 18 hours of wrestling. If there's only one match you see, this is the match.
Let's put it this way: best match as of right now.
As of right now, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got the rest of NXT Brooklyn 4. We see a new NXT Women's Champion in Kairi Sane.
Kairi,
the Yacht Princess.
The Yacht Princess.
We all picked Sane, so we're insane for Sane.
That was a great match.
We are.
Yeah, that's a better Baszler match.
Baszler.
That's what I said.
You said Baszler.
Wow. I mean, I was doing the French pronunciation of it.
She ain't French.
He was thinking of the basketball.
Some of our French fans might appreciate it.
She's from Minnesota, man.
But that doesn't necessarily people who listen to this might be French and they understand it as Baszler.
All right.
Yeah, they might be French Canadians.
Oui, oui. Another match was The Dream versus EC3, which we see The Dream go over EC3, which we all picked EC3 for the win. I didn't see that coming. What did you guys think? That bump on the edge of the ring, that was something fierce.
No, the worst one was to be on the steel steps.
Oh, yeah.
No, I like the match. I thought it was great, even though I lost the point. But you win some, you lose some.
I don't know if that was the best match, but it was
no, not the best match.
I mean,
we already said that the best match was Moustache Mountain. But
the show of the weekend, we can all agree, was the NXT show, right?
Yep.
Let's put it this way: it surprised me.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting it more to be of a brawl. Because again, I've never seen EC3 like really wrestle aside from the last NXT TakeOver,
which he was in a ladder match.
Which it was, and it was him against a lot of people. So I hadn't really seen him in a singles match.
Right.
Ethan Carter third.
Because of his build, I was expecting a brawl, but it really impressed me the match.
I don't know why, but for me this match felt a little discombobulating It's like I told Joe earlier in the week. It felt like the moves were telegraphed to where, like, you know what move is coming way before it happens. Like, they kind of, like, premeditated everything. I'm not sure if that was EC3's fault or the Dream's fault, but it kind of felt like it wasn't as fluid as it should have been. I'm not sure if you picked up on that or not. I did. So to me, this I can't say it's the worst match because there wasn't a bad match, but this is probably my least favorite match of the show. Still better than some of the stuff on SummerSlam, but for me, it just kind of felt flat.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was telegraphed, but I could see it being one of the lesser. I mean, after you have that tag team match, and then you have the Ricochet Cole match.
And this had to follow the tag team match.
Yeah. So I mean, it can't beat it.
But the personality, because I know John Cena said it, Jim Ross has said it. They say the person to watch is the Velveteen Dream, especially since he's like in his early 20s. Like, that's the guy that you need to be watching out for. John Cena wants to wrestle Velveteen Dream, so I mean, the way he portrays that character, the way he works the character, he's all in, man. That's the guy that we need to be watching for the next like couple years, I think.
Right? Who's Patrick Clark? No, it doesn't even exist anymore. It's only Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Patrick who?
Again. Exactly.
How the hell did he? How did ZZ beat him on Tough Enough?
I can't answer that because I don't know.
And I mean, you just see his tights. Call me up, Vince. I'm like, wow. And apparently Triple H said that he didn't know that Dream did that. He just did it on his own. So I'm like, all right.
All right. So about the NXT North American title, we see a new champion in Ricochet. Hollywood, myself, and Andre pick Ricochet. Ralph, who does not do very well on the NXT brand shows.
Nope.
Cole.
Hey.
So
it's fine.
That was a great match. Ricochet, that man can do amazing things. I don't know how they're going to have that translate to the main roster, because I don't see that happening very much. But for right now, he looks like $1 million.
But please tell me you saw that springboard moonsault that Adam Cole super kicked him out of.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I saw it.
And I paused it. I rewound it. If that's the word. Rewound it.
Sure.
Rewound,
and I was just like, spot on, dude. That super kick. I was just like, that's it right there.
Look, my only take is I've never been so happy to lose a point. That match, as it was progressing, I was like, you know what? I really don't care right now who wins. I wanted Cole to win because I needed a point, but I was like, I'm okay if Ricochet wins it. I'm fine. I can lose the point.
And I'm happy Adam got to actually show what he can do, because so far, like, he's had some good matches, but nothing really marquee or stand out. He's been kind of that pretty boy type of character where, like, it's more finesse, but he fought Ricochet in this match, and even though he didn't win, I don't think he lost anything by losing. This is a really good showing for him.
I thought he did a good showing in War Games.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, as an individual.
That's true. All right, I'll give you that.
Adam Cole, baby.
Baby. The last match of the night was Ciampa versus Gargano. We all picked Gargano to get the championship. That didn't happen.
Were we so wrong?
I know.
Is this feud over now?
I don't know.
It should be. I mean, because Cole lost the title, I think they're going to do what Marcus says, and they're going to have Cole go for the title now. Because I don't see another Ciampa Gargano match.
Well, I mean, they're
Goes for the
kind of
title.
going with a knee injury with Gargano.
And then what's his name just had surgery, Aleister Black. So you're gonna need a new number one contender. I don't think you give Cole the number one contendership because you don't reward somebody you don't reward somebody who lost by giving them another title shot. So you have to have some type of tournament or something.
Are you forgetting Logic?
But this is
Because
NXT. Triple H has better logic.
But remember, what's his name? AJ Styles lost the US. Was it the US? The US title, and then he went for the WWE title, which he has since then.
But how did he get to that point? Did he win a tournament? Did he win a number one contenders match? He just wasn't given a title shot.
Yeah, it kind of was.
I think he was. He was just given the title.
Wait, who did he win it
title
from
shot.
again?
Jinder.
Yes, Ginger. It
But I
was
don't-
right before. It was right before Survivor Series. I want to say.
The Series
Where
of
it
Survivor?
where it was AJ versus Brock Lesnar. Right before a pay-per-view. Was it Ginger that called an open challenge? I don't remember what happened, but he won it from Ginger.
But do you think Triple H is going to do that? I don't think he's just going to give him a title shot.
I don't know if Triple H will do that, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Very interesting indeed. Because I don't see anybody else on the main roster right now, unless you give it to the Dream. I think Dream versus Ciampa will be interesting. You got Dream, you got what's this guy's name who's been winning his matches lately? The fake Mick Foley. Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno, Dream. I don't think you give it to Adam Cole as much as I would like him to. I don't know, man. That's rough. It's going to be hard to pick a new number one contender because it has to be a face, obviously.
Yeah, because Gargano's just too good of a heel.
Whoa, he's had how many matches now? He just lost his last 2 matches against Ciampa. I don't think you want to give him another title shot. You know?
Yeah.
You have Keith Lee, but I don't think you give him a title shot this soon.
Yeah, it's too early.
Ricochet, but he already has his title.
I think you're right with Cole. I think Cole would be the much more logical answer.
But you just give it to him after he's lost the title?
I don't know. Who else you got? Like you said, there's really nobody else.
Because that it confuses me when that happens on NXT where you lose a match but you get rewarded by getting put to the main roster. It's like, how? But
Yeah, but that's different. You can't go by that.
I don't know.
It's
We'll
about
see what happens.
because it's about performance and getting over more than it is about if you win lost on NXT.
You know what? Vince should call me to book.
I need you at work. I can't have you go. So no, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I guess you can't go.
I can respect that. Hey man, give me 2 paychecks, so whatever.
No, man. If Vince calls you to go book, damn it, I'm not going to stop you. Go frickin' book.
I'll bring you with me and Ralph,
Oh hell yeah, let's do it.
and I get to meet Alexa. So
Alexa, why would you want to bring Amazon's artificial intelligence to this?
I want to meet Becky more, to be honest with you.
I don't know. She's a heel. She might not like you and kick you.
No, she all right.
Yeah. No, she might use the disarmor on him, but he might like that.
She could disarm me. Never mind.
Well, let us know what you think about NXT Brooklyn 4. Let us know on our Facebook, Twitter under Marks and Smarks, also on our website, UGeekly, that's UEEGKLY.com. We are part of the Unique Geek Network, so let us know what you think. I kind of switched that, didn't I?
It's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm Jose Sands. I'm here with...
Marcus.
And
Big Ralph.
saying see you next time.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
not Hollywood anymore because Hollywood Hogan's racist, so I want to distance myself from him. I'm just Marcus now. Get used to it, peoples. Bye.
Good night on that note.
And if you're not down with that,
Goodbye and good. Mwah.